Well, um, here we are. we have we have some new Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshots, everyone. Seven of them specifically, because Nomura likes the numbers 7 and 13 for obvious reasons. So normally I don't do videos about screenshots because that's, I don't know, I just find it to be kind of silly. But considering this is Kingdom Hearts 4, this is the first time we're seeing anything of this game in over 3 years. I feel like it is appropriate to at least maybe not hyper analyze every single screenshot, but to go over what was revealed and talk about it, because I do, I do have some things to say about these, some of these screenshots that have been released. Some I definitely have a lot more to say than others, but we're gonna start at the bottom and work our way to the top. So let's start with this one with Sora. Now, for those who don't know, the original 2022 trailer was rendered in Unreal Engine 4. But Kingdom Hearts 4 itself, the final release, is going to be rendered in Unreal Engine 5. So I assume the screenshots that we're seeing here have been rendered in Unreal Engine 5, and you can already tell that there have been some slight visual changes to this render of realistic Sora, Quadratum Sora, compared to the Quadratum Sora we got to look at in the 2022 trailer. Because his hair does look a little bit less poofy compared to the 2022 trailer. His neckline definitely looks different a little bit. He's definitely got like more of a V cut here, which is something that I weirdly noticed. Don't ask me why I noticed that, I just do. And his crown necklace is a little, definitely a lot less tight compared to how it was in the 2022 version of this render. And I've seen some people say that they don't really like the way realistic Sora looks, but I disagree. I think this actually looks pretty damn good. I need to see him in motion, obviously, to get a better idea of it, and hopefully it doesn't go into like the uncanny valley territory. At least that's the way I feel. I don't think it goes into that territory yet. I still think it looks like, one of the more realistic, in quotes, looking Square Enix games, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It looks like Sora just fell right out of Final Fantasy VII, the remake trilogy. So yeah, I don't really have a problem with the way he looks. So this screenshot is a little weird because it is, at a first glance, it's very hard to kind of get an idea of what this is. But it's Sora standing in a parking lot, and he's underneath a big overpass with the sun just like blaring through the breaks in the overpass, and there's like bloom effects on the ground. I don't know what these are supposed to be, but they're there. It's definitely, out of all the images, it's definitely the one that is the most difficult to kind of tell at a first glance what's going on, just because like looking at it like this, you're kind of looking at it and you're like, what the fuck is that? But any of these other ones, you get a quick look at, you kind of get an idea of what it is. This one, you kind of have to zoom in on and see what it is. And it's really just Sora in a parking lot with the sun blaring through. And I guess this is his here to kind of show off, UE5's lighting capabilities and their bloom effects and whatnot. I mean, it looks nice, but I would like to see this kind of effect more in a trailer than this tiny screenshot in a collage amongst other screenshots. Maybe they'll release a higher definition version of these screenshots at some point, because they released them all as one document in the tweet that the Kingdom Hearts account sent out, but we can only hope. So the next shot is of the Dark Side Heartless. Not a whole lot to go on. I like the way his face looks, like lit up by this. Oh, is that like a, hold on. That in the background, is that maybe like a helicopter or something? Or are these like missiles that they're firing at this thing? I just noticed that. That might be a little helicopter there. Who knows? But that's kind of cool. They do it like a kaiju thing. They're really taking it another level with the kaiju stuff, where you have a helicopter military in Quadratum attacking this dark side of Heartless. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. I like the way this face looks. It looks kind of creepy. Yeah, as you'll see with like one of the other pictures in this, I think the Heartless look the creepiest they've ever looked in this since Kingdom Hearts 1. Because I don't really find the way the Heartless look intimidating most of the time. Just probably even as a child when I played this, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. But there are a handful of Heartless that actually have pretty like weird and creepy designs. But this looks to be one of them, especially if they're going to go for the more realistic look. Yeah, look at this guy's face. That's a nasty looking face. But I dig it. If they're gonna put a Heartless in a more realistic setting, I'd like for it to look a little scarier than it usually does, not like cartoonish. So the next screenshot is Strelitzia, for those who don't know who this is. She is a character in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, or Kingdom Hearts... I forget like which version of the mobile game she specifically comes from, but she dies during the events of the story. And we never really find out what happens to her until they released that trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 3 years ago, and we got to see Strelitzia in there, living in the world of Quadratum. So, this is the newest render of her. I think it obviously looks better compared to the UE4 render that was in the 2022 trailer. But as for her exact role in the game, that remains to scene. So this is another shot that's basically like a graphics money shot, where they go, look at our fancy light reflections off this phone. Isn't that nice? Look at all of that. I mean, it would look nice if this was a much higher quality screenshot, and again, not just a tiny little screenshot among these other ones that are just there in this one single image. But I like the implication of showing this old-timey phone. I don't know if Sora is actually going to use one of these, but that'd be kind of cool if he did. I would dig that. And then this is one of the shots. This was the major one that caught my eye when I first saw this collage, because this confirms playable Mickey Mouse for the first time in quite some time. I think since... Oh, it's been a long time since we played as Mickey. And this library, I'm gonna take a guess and say that this is Radiant Garden. It'd be cool if this was a new area, like a new world or something, but I think this is Radiant Garden. I think this is Master Ansem's library in his laboratory, but I could always be wrong. Could be cool if this... It definitely would be cool if this was a brand new world, but considering this is probably gonna be a more limited play space with Mickey, considering he's only got one command, which is attack. He doesn't have any party members that we see. So I think this is Radiant Garden or Hollow Bastion, depending on what you want to call it. I'll call it Radiant Garden, at least in this format. And finally, we have this screenshot. This is obviously the one that people they want you to draw your eye most at this one. And rightfully so, because I think it has the most information as far as what you can expect with the gameplay. There actually are two versions of this screenshot, one in English and one in Japanese. I'm going to mainly be looking at the Japanese one, but I would like to draw your eye to two details that I think are worth briefly discussing. Or three, actually. So, one is, I do like the look of this command menu for Quadratum. I think it does look like this little art in the background with the buildings and whatnot. I think that looks pretty cool. I hope the command menus are a lot more animated and have a lot more hidden details in them like they used to, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2. Just looking at the command menus for each of the worlds, there are so many cute little unnecessary details that they really did not need to add, but they added them in there for the characters, they added them in not for characters, but to add character to the game, to add a spark of personality. But one of my big problems with Kingdom Hearts 3, just visually, is that the command menus, while they do change based on the world, they do tend to just be this flat image that kind of occasionally lights up around. And it doesn't really have the little details that the command menus, especially Kingdom Hearts 2, had. So hopefully they're a lot better this time around. And now we see build, which this is a gameplay mechanic that was announced when Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced, because I don't know what Nomura means by build. I really hope this isn't some kind of like beyond what you can already do with synthesis, where it's like yet another crafting system. I hope this is more like preset things you can build, and then if you have the certain amount of shotlock or MP or something, you can build an object, and this will probably replace the summon mechanic. But I don't know. I need some more information on what this build is, but it's still here. It hasn't been taken out of the game since Nomura talked about it back in 2022. And finally, speaking of shotlock, you'll see that the shotlock icon meter is back. I assume, considering this is empty, that this is an ability you can do with the full shotlock meter, which is pretty par for the course compared to how the shotlock mechanic worked in like Birth by Sleep and KH3 and whatnot. So now I'm going to go over to the Japanese version. So this is the Japanese version of that screenshot, where it's a very different angle. And the reason I wanted to go with this one is because it does show another enemy type in the background. And it also gives us, I think, a better look at some of these. I assume these guys are heartless, but they definitely look strange compared to how they have a more like defined devil look to them that I quite like, and I think it fits the more realistic tone, I guess. And I'm air quoting when I say realistic, the more realistic look that Quadratum has. So I like the way these heartless look. They look more like demons, which is cool. I like these enemies, these more like shield gauntlet enemies, where they could probably like shoot lasers out of these gauntlets, and they'll put them up close to their body to defend, and maybe you have to do a special shotlock attack to break through their defenses. These guys this one looks like it's a different color, but it might be just the lighting from their laser beam here making this look glow differently compared to how it is here. And then you have this thing in the background, which looks like it almost has like a face right here. I don't know if that's a propeller or what the hell that is, and it's got legs, so that's another weird looking heartless design. I don't think you see that in the US screenshot, so that's something new. And then this is obviously a move that you can pull off when you have a full shotlock, and you can just go to town on these guys. And what's also interesting is that there are no party members along here. So I wonder if you're going to get party members in Quadratum, or if you have to go to another world in the real world. Like if you hypothetically go to Star Wars world that I'm very confident is in the game, then you'll have maybe Luke and Han Solo or Leia team up with you and fight the Heartless, fight Darth Vader, which is going to be wild to see Sora possibly fighting Darth Vader. That's going to be a trip. but that's the world we live in now. Where that used to be like a meme to see Sora fighting Darth Vader and get like a lightsaber keyblade, but we live in a time where that is very likely going to become a reality, which is again it's crazy to me. Um, so yeah, that's really all I've got. I mean, we didn't really get like a whole lot of crazy new information with these 7 screenshots. Obviously, like no new worlds are confirmed beyond, like, at least for Sora. I mean, we get that with Mickey Mouse, where I assume that's Radiant Gardens, the library, and Ansem's laboratory. All the other stuff is just set in Quadratum, so really, again, the only world we know about is Quadratum. We didn't get any confirmation about a Star Wars world. We didn't get any confirmation as like, can you play as Riku in this game? Can you play as Kairi? Who was the person that Don and Goofy were talking to in the 2022 trailer? Who from the organization or new characters, new villains, who are these people going to be? What are the foretellers have to do with this? Where are the reaction commands? Where are our Final Fantasy characters? So there's still like a shitload of questions that I have for Kingdom Hearts 4, but yeah, I mean, this is literally all, these are like the table scraps. this is all we get after more than 3 years, which again, as I said in the Missing Link video, like the lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3 is now looking like overexposure by comparison, because now by this point we've gotten 1 trailer and 7 screenshots, or 8 if you count the alternate American version screenshot. By this point in the lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3, we had multiple screenshots and 4 trailers, and like quite a bit of info from Nomura to kind of like sink our teeth into and ruminate on. We don't really have that with KH4, and I know they're doing this to kind of like soften the blow of Missing Link being canceled, because like the way they kind of like threw this together is funny, because it's not like this came out right away after the announcement that Missing Link was canceled. This came out a full 18 hours after the announcement of Missing Link being canceled. So they probably went to bed in Japan, and then they woke up and were like, "Oh shit, people are not happy." Especially like the diehards in the community. They're like, "What the fuck is going on? Where's KH4? Why are you canceling games? Why are you canceling like games with possibly like big lore implications for KH4? What's going on?" So they threw this together. It really does scream to me like they just threw this together as like a, hey, let's just give them a little carrot, and hopefully they'll calm down a little bit while they munch on this. So it's definitely not gonna keep me calm in like my criticism that they announced this way too fucking early. So yeah, I'm still wondering like, where the hell is this game, guys? When are we actually gonna see footage of it? I don't think we're gonna see any footage of it this year. I already have friends saying like, oh yeah, maybe we'll get it. Like, oh, it's 7 pictures, so it'll be 13 days. We'll get a. It's like, stop doing this to yourself. Just stop. Just assume that we're not gonna get anything from Kingdom Hearts 4 until like 2027 or 2028. Anything else beyond that is just gonna be a delightful surprise, because I definitely didn't know that I'd be ending my day looking at new screenshots for Kingdom Hearts 4, which is. That's pretty exciting. It's not a trailer, but I'll take it. It's better than nothing at this point. Shit. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for I almost said chatting with me, but I'm not. I'm like chatting at you guys. You're not having a dialogue with me. So anywho, thanks so much for stopping by and watching. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.